Hello, you fantastic beast. BoJess here, and welcome to me building the murder house from American Horror Story. Anyway, so I got a request to build this house, and I'd never actually sat down and really watched the show, so yeah, I thought, that'd be fun. The show is kind of a horror, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's like a horror movie, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know, twisted. It's weird. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. I think I've made it through, 4 episodes, 4 or 5 episodes. So this house I don't think is going to be exactly accurate to the house on the show as this house when I was trying to do some research to make this house. And yeah, I found out this house has been used in a lot of horror movies. So a lot of the pictures that you find online are of different versions of this house from different horror movies and stuff. And I was like, oh, how interesting. So when I first start building this house, I think I was building the full version of it because there's only a certain part of the certain part of the house that's actually used in the movie. And that's like I don't know, because there's like this garage off to the side, which is in the show covered up by a whole bunch of trees, which really made me stop and go, wait a minute, did they edit those trees in there? Like, did they actually, are those fake trees? They're not really there. So now when I'm watching the show, I'm like, are those real trees? Or did they bring in trees and plant them, or, something like that? I don't know. It's weird. So, I get the floor plan of this house, and I get, like, the outside of the house. I don't have the basement yet. I actually need to sit down and watch more of the series to see if I can't get a floor plan for the basement. Either that or look it up online. See what I can do. Always going to see what I can do. Actually, I think there's one episode that did show off the basement really well, but it was more like a, evil scientist lab thing where this guy is, he was trying to, their baby died or something, so he was trying to bring the kid back to life, and he was sewing the parts of the kid together, and the wife walked in and freaked out. I'm like, whoa, this is so weird. It's interesting. It's a really interesting show. If you've not watched it and you like really sick and twisted stuff, I suggest going ahead and giving it a watch. But if you just like kind of regular horror movies, you might not like it. Because I don't know. It's interesting. I kind of can't wait for what is the clown? I can't remember. I know there's clowns in the show at some point. I'm kind of excited to see those because someone said, was his name Twisty or something? I don't know. Someone said that he's more terrifying than Pennywise, and I look at it and I'm like laughing. I'm like, a clown is a clown. They all look funny. But yeah, they're clowns. They're supposed to be funny. But anyway, yeah. So this house goes through a lot of changes. Even when you think I have this house done, it goes through more changes. It's pretty much, I more have finished the house, or not finished the house, but just the outside of the house. The floor plan. Once I start working on the floor plan, that's where I'm like, wait a minute, this house is horribly inaccurate. This is horrible. So then I started changing it. But yeah, I like it the way it ends up. And I do want to make another episode of this where I decorate the inside of the house, because it needs to be decorated. But I'm not really sure how I want to go about that yet, because when you're watching the series, depending on what episode you're watching, the house goes through a lot of changes, like from each individual, the individual people that live there. So, and then, because there's the mad scientist guy, the house looks different there from the more modern look that it has with the people who are currently in the house that are going through hell, compared to the next door neighbor lady, which I think she might have lived in the house too. I'm not really sure though. I don't know. I'll find out more. But like I've said, I've only watched a few episodes. I'll probably watch some more today and maybe pause it in certain areas and, I don't know, take pictures so that I can make the house. So, yeah. I'm sorry that this took me so long to get out. It's just, I don't know, I just did not feel like building in The Sims. It's taken me like any bit of energy just to turn The Sims on. I'm so sick of it. I burnt myself out on The Sims. Not sure how that happened, but it did. I don't know, I'll go through bursts where I will play The Sims non-stop for like months. And then I'll go through where I will not play the game for months and months and months. So yes. I went into one of those modes. And today I woke up and I went, I want to build the house. So I did. So, alright. So far though, in the show, I would have to say my favorite character so far, I suck with names. It's the, that young kid that's freaks out the dad. The dad is a therapist. I like him, and I like the maid. And heck, if I can remember their names. I'll get their names eventually. I take a while to get names. I think it's one of those that I just don't listen to the name, and then I go, oh, what was their name? But I never listen to what their name actually is. And it's usually I have to like read the name. So maybe if I went online and started looking things up. Oh, there was the big cut of, I was so sick of building on this house. So I just stopped, and then this is where I finished. I was like, yay, I feel like building. It's really sad that this house could have took one day for me to build, and here it took me way longer than that. But I guess that's what happens. But yeah, those are probably my two favorite characters. The reason why I like the maid so much, I think, is because depending on who's looking at her, she looks different. Like, if it's a man looking at her, she's young and sexy. And if it's anybody else looking at her, she's like this old, one-eyed, creepy-looking lady. So, and I really like to see where stuff goes with her, because she's got a pretty dark past. I've seen some of it already. But yeah, the next door neighbor, she's so mean. But I like her. She's evil. And then her kiddo, I think, has the Down syndrome? I like that kiddo. I guess she's not really a kid. You know, she was in the beginning, but not really a kid now. Probably in her 30s or 40s or something. I don't know why I'm talking about this. It's really fun to sit here and watch the things that I've done with this house. Because I'm like, when you first start, everything that you have to go through just to get to the point where it's finished is absolutely insane. And I'm missing like the roof there, and I don't know how that happened. I have no idea. So then I put that roof piece in there. And then as I continue with the game, it fixes itself. Because I end up deleting that little portion that I put in there, which is causing severe glitching. I end up deleting that, and somehow the house fixes itself. Not really sure why. Maybe if I watch this closely, I can figure it out. Those roof pieces kind of look like there's something blue up at the top from what I could see in the pictures, but I couldn't really get a really good look at it. So yeah, I do a lot of guessing. And then what it looks like around the back, that's a lot of guessing too. Because I don't really think you really get to see much of the back of the house. I'm gonna watch, obviously some more of the series, because there's a part where he's building a gazebo. And I think you get to see the back of the house there. And if I'm correct, the back of the house is pretty fancy too. So I'm going to watch some, obviously we'll watch some more. I would like to finish the series, because it's strange and weird. But I can see why people don't get into it at the same time. Because, yeah, like my mom. There's no way she'd ever get into it. She has a hard time with people being really mean unless they're monstrous. Like Freddy Krueger she's cool with because Freddy Krueger's a monster. And I'm like, okay. Like, I don't see him as a monster. I like Freddy. He's cool. But, alright. Where are we here? I think we're about to be moving. Yeah, I think we're about to move into the house. Yeah. Because I discovered something weird. Like, I discovered that they updated The Sims 4 to where you could stretch out the roofing. Or, unless I just never seen that before, but you can change the... Oh, not the siding, but the... You know what? The angle part. The part that was on the angle. You can, like, stretch that out or make it shrink. Or whatever. If that even makes sense. Which we know it doesn't. Because I don't make sense. I never do. I yibber yabber and talk and talk and talk. I think that most people should just mute my videos. When I'm doing house builds. Just mute me. And if you do, I'm not mad at you. By the way, these doors are just kind of placeholders for, you know, kind of giving me an idea where doors and windows will be because, you know, I found blueprints and I'm at this point going off blueprints if I haven't mentioned the blueprints already. But I did find blueprints that said American Horror Story on them. And I'm thinking that that's kind of where, like, kind of the blueprints that they used because I think they closed off more of the house so that, you know, it'd be kind of a smaller house to live in and then put trees everywhere to cover it up. And, you know, once again, this house has been used in apparently quite a few horror movies, which I think is pretty cool. And they probably just changed the inside. It's kind of like that Pennywise house is actually two different houses. One is like built, like for the outside of it's built, and the other house is actually the inside of the house. So when you're actually trying to build the house, things don't add up. Whereas I'm pretty sure this is all one house, and for the most part, everything has added up. Which, believe me, I'm happy. I was so worried this was gonna be like Pennywise's house. I was like, it's a fun house to build, but what a nightmare. And here we go. Now this is where this house really makes some, I would say, pretty massive changes. Just to make everything work and to stretch a few things out and change a few things and make things make sense. Because it didn't make sense. I just got to figure the stairs out. I know where some of the stairs in the house are. I mean, it's on the blueprint, but the blueprints aren't very clear whether the stairs are going up and down. So I've got to kind of figure it out, because you have the basement, you have the second floor, or basement, first floor, second floor, and third floor, which I had no idea that there was a third floor to this house, and I don't know that the third floor is actually used in the house. I don't think it is, but if it is, it's in a later episode. So, yeah, I don't know. The basement might end up, or basement, I mean the attic may end up being like just cluttered full of stuff. That may be what I end up doing, is just cluttering it up, depending. I'm gonna try to watch, you know, more. Try to get through the first season at least, because I think the second season is a different family, maybe? I'm guessing at this point. And a lot of these little boxes and stuff that I'm building are either not used or they're closets, from what I could see on the Dilly-Mabob, the blueprint. By the way, if you want the blueprint to this house, literally American Horror Story blueprint, and that's how I found it. And I just saved them to my computer and put them in my photo editor thingy and brought them up as I needed them. And it worked out fabulous. This is where it gets fixed. Because it was messed up until that point, the roofing. And I did this. It must be because it wasn't complete walls. Maybe that's what it was. I didn't even actually know you could do this with an attic. I didn't realize that you could put rooms and stuff in the attic and make it like a third floor. I didn't even know that. So I learned something new with this build. I think that's it right there, where I completed that wall. You know, that would make sense. That would actually make sense. It's kind of fun watching these back. You're sitting there probably going, you are insane. Yes. Yes, I am. That's what I tell everybody. I am insane. People don't believe me, but I am. I've embraced the insanity. And that's all there is. Now I'm building the basement. And this is where I kind of changed the house a little bit more. And I ended up I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I ended up liking a lot more doing it this way. You know, where because that little area right there is open. I love that little area. I think that is so neat. I would like to build my own house. But the problem is I want the underground house, like the basement house. I think that would be absolutely awesome to have like an underground house. You know, just a small part of the house like peeks up top. I don't even care if there's windows, but technically there needs to be windows for it to be, I think, considered a house. So it would be a 1-bedroom house with I don't know, like the 1-bedroom, small living room, small kitchen, or no big kitchen. But then underneath everything, the basement would be like 3 bedrooms, maybe a secondary kitchen. No, I'm kidding. Secondary living room, actually. I don't need 2 kitchens. I'm a weirdo. You know what? You know what? I think I should build my dream house. That would be fun. But I do have a few other requests that I would like to do beforehand, of course. You know, like Stranger Things and a ski lodge type thing. But anyway, yes. So this episode is coming to an end very quickly. Thank you so very much for watching. Let me know what you thought by either leaving me a pulse up or a pulse down. And I shall see you in the next episode. Night-night.